Recording. So welcome to my one or two viewers. We did number 5, and so I'm going to number 6. So now you notice that number 6, both of these equations are not in the y, in the slope-intercept form. So I'm going to take 3x minus 5y, and I'm going to change that. Right? 3x minus 5y equals negative 30. I'm going to have to isolate the y, so let me remove the 3x by doing the inverse, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So that way these two go out, and I'm left with negative 5y, and this becomes, let me just erase that, equals negative 3x minus 30. I'm still not done. I want to divide both sides by negative 5. Now divide everything here by negative 5, and likewise this by negative 5. So these two negative 5's become positive 1, and positive 1 times y is just y. So I'll write this over here so it becomes nice and clean. Negative 3 over negative 5 is going to be a positive 3 over 5. I can rewrite that as this, x. And then negative 30 divided by negative 5 is going to be positive 6. Okay, so I did my first one. Let me change now my second equation again to the y equals mx plus b format, and I have x minus 5y equals negative 20, minus x on this side. So I'm going to bring down the negative 5y because this go out, and this becomes negative x minus 20. Divide by negative 5. I'm going to divide everything on the other side by negative 5, and then I'm going to get y equals positive x over 5, which I'm just going to rewrite as 1 over 5. Okay, I will put the 1 in this case, and you'll see y plus 4. So this second one becomes y equals 1 over 5x plus 4. Right? And the reason I wrote the 1 there, where usually, again, let me just rewrite that so that usually you'll see it like this, but that's the same thing as x multiplied by 5 over 1 over 5 times x, right? That this and this same thing, but I need that 1 over in this case because we're going to use that information too for our slope. So we have our two, I should have brought this, okay, maybe. And we have our two equations. I can even get rid of it. So my first equation, I know that the slope, the y-intercept, is going to hit the y-axis on 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's my y-intercept. And now I know my slope is 3 over 5. So you can tell that it's a positive slope. So it's going to be a line that goes up like that. And the change in y is positive, and the change in x is positive. So it's going to be 3 up, 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to the right. And going this way, so I know it's going my line, so going backwards is going to be 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from here, right, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do one more. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my line. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do a, oh my God. What is going on here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my line, and I can't use a ruler, so oops, that's definitely not it. So it's going to, and I'm again, yikes. Right, not easy. I'm using a tablet here. Okay, so that looks like my first equation. So this is my line. Y equals 3/5 of x plus 6. Change colors. My second one, oh my God, it's really ugly. So my second one is 4. The y-intercept is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be 1/5. So 1 up and 5 to the right. 1 up and 5 to the right. 1 up, 5 to the right. So, and if I go backwards, right, it's 1 down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like it's here. That line, the red one, looks like it's that. Okay, mine's not perfect at all. So this is my line, y equals 1/5 of x plus 4. And there is a point of intersection right here, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 3x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 up. So -5 and positive y. So, and again, I'm going to make this bigger for the next one, but hopefully I'm right. And let's see if I'm right. I'm going to take one of the equations. So I'm going to take this equation over here. Y equals 3/5 of x times x plus 6. I'm going to replace the y with 3 because that's my y value. This is my x value. And I'm going to replace my x. I get 3/5 times an x is -5 plus 6. And that hopefully tells me that the left and the right are equal. So on the left side, I have nothing to do. On the right side, this 5 I can simplify before I multiply. 5 divided by 5 is 1. This is also 1. 3 times -1 is -3. And then I get plus 6. And yay, 3 equals 3. So I know this point works for this equation. And again, I don't want to make this video too long. When I substitute the next one, it should also work for the other equation. Okay, so the point intersection for these two is -5, 3. Try to make this bigger. So here, can I make it bigger? Okay, that's as big as it gets. So we have 2. Can I do this? Okay. So let's take the first one. And y equals -x. So for this line, there's an invisible 1 over here, and I'm going to put that over 1 because that's going to be my slope. There's no y-intercept, so the intercept, I mean, you can add, so it'd be plus 0, right? So because it's plus 0, it means that this line is going to cross through the origin. Okay, the slope is negative, so we're looking for a line that goes this direction, from left to right. It's going to go down. So the change in y is negative, but the change, so again, the slope here is, the m slope is -1 over 1, so the change in y, change in x. The change in y is negative, so we're going to go 1 down, and the change in x is positive. It's going to be 1 down and 1 left. So 1 down, 1 left. 1 down, 1 left, and I don't know how many points you want to do, but you can make more. So on the other side, it would continue this way. And you know what? I'm not going to draw a line because I don't know how to with this. It's going to get all crooked, so I'm just going to extend it. So pretend it was a line. You should make a line. Okay, so it's going to be, unless I can try, you know what, I can, now forget it. So the other equation is y equals x. And let me bring that down, y equals x. And then in front of the x, I'm going to put a 1, and that's going to be 1 over 1. And again, it's plus 0, right? Because it intercepts. If there's no intercept, it's because it's 0. So that means that this also is going to cross the origin. So I'm going to put a blue circle around that red circle, so that you know that it also crosses the origin. So in this case, it's a positive slope so this one is going to go up. So my slope is 1 over 1, so the change in y and the change in x are both positive. So the change in y is positive, so it means it goes 1 up and then 1 to the right. 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, and to the right. So, and then this is my line y equals x, and this is my line y equals -x. Now you can tell that they intersect at the origin as 0, 0. So the point of intersection of this is 0, 0. So 0, 0 is the only point that if I were to substitute, and I will show you here, y equals -x. So let's replace the x and y with their values. So they're both 0, 0. 0 equals -0, or 0 equals 0. The second equation, you get y equals x. So let me put 0 equals 0. And you know it's true. So 0, 0 satisfies both equations. Okay, so now, no, still ugly. And let me see. Sort of straight, sort of straight, sort of straight. No, looks like a starfish now. Or a guy doing jumping jacks. Okay, next one. thank you. This is already in the slope-intercept form, so I don't have to do anything. I know that the first equation, the, what do you call, y-intercept is 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to cross that way. It's a negative slope, so it's going to be looking for a line that goes in that direction, down from left to right. My slope for this one, m, is this guy right here. So negative 2 over 1. So the change in x is negative, but the change in y is negative, but the change in x, change in y, no, change in y, sorry, change in x. So that it's negative and then positive. So the change in y is negative, so negative 2 negative means go down 2. Change in x is positive, so we're going to go right. So it's going to be 2 down, 1 right, 2 down, 1 right, 2 down, 1 right. And I'm going to just do this. Right. I'm not going to connect the dots in my case only because I don't have a ruler and I don't know how to do it on the tablet. So that would be your straight line. So I'm going to change colors for the other one. Y equals 2x plus 2. Our second equation, my y-intercept is this guy over here, which is 2, 1, 2. So my y-intercept is this guy, 2 on the y-axis. And then my slope equals 2, right? My slope is 2, or 2 over 1. So my change in y and my change in x are both positive. So I'm going to go 2 up, right? On the y, if it changes positive, we go up. It's going to be 2 up, and change in x was also positive. We go 1 right. So 2 up, 1 right. Oh, and we just found the intersection. 2 up, 1 right. 2 up, 1 right. 2 up, 1 right. And likewise the other way. So this is my equation, y equals 2x plus 2. The red one is y equals negative 2x plus 6. And you can tell that the point intersection is right here. And that is 1. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4. That's the point of intersection. You will check on a test. So I'm going to take the first equation and substitute x and the y values. They're both, one is 1, the other is 4. So I get y, which is 4, equals negative 2 times 1 plus 6. 4 equals negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 6. 4 equals negative 2 plus 6 is 4. So it checks out in the first equation. And the second equation is y, which is 4, 2 times x over here, which is 1, plus 2. 4 equals 2 plus 2, and 4 equals 4. So, ta-da, the value, the 0.14, what do you call it? Satisfies both equations. So, 8, and then you have 9 and 10. Wow, really? So let me, I can write, what I'm going to do is write it down. 3x minus 4y equals 5, and x equals 3. So I'm going to bring the screen up. Yeah, I can do it. No, I can't do it. Move that guy. Can I? I can't. All right, so first thing I want to do is take this, right, and change the way I'm going to represent it. So I'm going to take 3x minus 4y equals 5. I'm going to subtract 3x from this side, 3x from this side. These two will go adios. Negative 4y comes down, equals negative 3x plus 5. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. By negative 4, I'm sorry, by negative 4, and this is negative 4. Really? Just give me a second here. What question is this? 9? Is there an answer key? Is there an answer key? There is. No, there isn't. There is no answer key to this one, so I guess we don't. Alright, so the only reason I'm checking for an answer key is because I'm surprised they gave us something with decimals right off the bat. So, well, let's see what happens. So, I have to divide both sides by negative 4, so this is going to be divided by negative 4, and this guy is going to be divided by negative 4. So these two negatives become 1, so I get y. Negative 3 and negative 4 is just negative 3 over 4, but positive. But this is a plus and a minus, right? So positive and negative is going to be negative 5 over 4. And that's going to be my y-intercept. And the second one, so let's move my screen a little bit higher. Okay, so y-intercept, negative 5 over 4, or that actually is equal to negative 1 and 1/4. So negative. So my y-intercept is negative 1 and 1/4. So it's a little bit beyond negative 1. So I'll put a little thing right there. I don't know. Wish they didn't do that. Did I do something wrong? So my my slope here is m equals 3/4, which means that it's positive slope. So this line is gonna go up. Changing x is positive, changing y is positive, changing x. So it's gonna be 3 up, 4 to the right. This is going to be a pain. 3 up, so it's gonna be between boxes. Ugh. Let's see if I can do this. What is that? 1, 2, and I get between boxes. 3 up and 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. And again, I have no idea what the values are. So let me see. 1. I'm not gauging this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here are my points. I'm going to do one more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I would connect these, right? I would get this is my line. I definitely know it's a what you call positive, and I get y equals 3/4 x plus minus 5 over 4, because my intercept is over here a little bit. It's actually, the intercept is 1 and 1/4, or negative 1 and what do you call 0.25. Let's see what my x equals 3. So x equals 3. This one is interesting. Let's find x equals 3. X equals 3 is, well, this is my x-axis. And this is x equals 1, x equals 2, and x equals 3 is this. So x equals 3 actually is a vertical line. This is x equals 3. So my point of intersection is going to be this guy right here. Which, to be honest with you, I have no idea what value it is, because I can't tell from my drawing. Hopefully you can do a better job than I do, but eventually, if you get this far, hopefully you may be able to tell me tomorrow what that point is. But this is what you should have done, unless I made a mistake, which it looks like I didn't. And this, I'm going to call this x equals 3. So that line is x equals 3. This is the other line, and the points that the intercept is right there. Last question. Wow, not too much of a homework if you ask me. 4x minus 3y equals negative 6. 4x minus 2y equals 0. So again, we got to change both equations. And let's take the first one. 4x minus 3y equals 6. Minus 4x, minus 4x. Cross out. Negative 3y equals negative 4x plus 6. Divide both sides by negative 3. And we're going to get y equals, and negative are positive, so this whole thing we can rewrite as 4/3 x. Positive 6 and negative 3 is going to be negative 2. So that's the equation of my first line. My second line, I'll change colors, is 4x minus 2y equals 0. So same thing. Let's isolate y. So did minus 4x on this side. These cross out. Negative 2y comes down, equals 0 minus 4x is just minus 4x. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2x. And then if you want to write the intercept, you can write plus 0, right? Because it's the same thing. So, so my second equation is that. So let's write both equations here. One equation is y equals 4/3 x minus 2. The second one, which what we just did, is y equals 2x plus 0. You don't have to write the plus 0. I'm just showing you so that you know, you understand what's going on. So let me move things around. Move the graph a little higher. Okay, so let's do the first equation in blue. So my intercept is -2. So over here, I know that line is going to cross -2. And this is a positive slope. M equals 4/3. M equals 4/3. So the change in x, y is positive, and change in x is positive. This is going to be a line that goes like that. So it's 4 up, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. Likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. If I wanted to put points on the other side, I would actually have to do the reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best. There you go. No, that's not that bad. So this is my line, and in that line, there's millions and millions of points. Okay, so we found a few of them, but there's millions and millions of others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right here. So that's my y equals 4/3 x minus 2. In red, let me do the other one. And in the other one, the y-intercept is 0, so it means it's going to cross this here. Right? So again, it's going to be a positive because it's 2 over 1 by the way, right? So it's going to be a line that goes up. So let's plot some points based on our slope. So our slope is 2 over 1. They're both positive, right? The change in x and y and x is positive. So it's going to be, if I were to draw points, I would have to go 2 up, 1 across, 2 up, 1 across, 2 up, 1 across, 2 up, 1 across, 2 up, 1 across. And then going down to continue that, right? It's like just work backwards. And I'm going to circle so I can see right here, that's the point of intersection. Right? So it's a line that also has continued. So this is what the line looks like. So definitely 2 lines, and their point of intersection is right here. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, negative, and going 1, 2, no, it's -3, sorry, -3, 1, 2, 3, -3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and -6 going down. So the point intersection, this point right here, is -3, -6. And let's just double check. So if I were to take that point, -3 and -6, and substitute it in the equation, I would get my answer. So here is something that you might want to consider. Here's my equation. Oh, now notice that here's my second equation. Well, doesn't matter. If I go back to, don't have to use the original equation. You can use the one you changed to the slope-intercept form to substitute to check. I'm going to go back to the original one because there are no fractions. So if I take the first equation and replace the x and the y with -3 and -6, it should make that equation true. So let's see. 4 times -3 minus 3 times -6 equals -6. I forgot a comma here. 4 times -3 is -12. -3 and -6 is positive 18. And that does not equal -6. What am I doing wrong? Because this is 6 equals -6. So that definitely is not working. So give me a second. What did I do wrong? So that is there. minus 2. Did I use minus 2? I did. Did I use 0? I did. Well, I'm going to have to do it again because it's not working. Unless I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just do it again. So number 10, yay, I get to do it again. So let me write the equations. 4x minus 3. 4x minus 3y equals negative 6, and the other one is 4x minus 2y equals 0. Somewhere around there I did something wrong. So let me do everything from the start, minus what is going on. Yay. Okay. Minus 4x on this side. And then I'm going to get negative 3y minus 4x equals negative 3y equals minus 4x minus 6 divided by negative 3. Divide this by negative 3 and divide this by negative 3. I'm going to get positive y, positive 4/3 x, and then plus 2. This is negative 6 divided by negative 3 is plus 2. So let me graph that right away. Here's my y-intercept on 2, and it's a positive slope, 4/3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 to the right. So there's my first equation, y equals 4/3 x plus 2. I'll try to put the line later. So let me do my other one, which is 4x minus 2y equals 0. Let me erase this. I am again doing minus 4x on this side, minus 4x on that side. This goes out, I get negative 2y equals negative 4x, and I will write the 0 plus 0. And then I'm going to divide this by negative 2, divide this by negative 2, and divide this by negative 2. That goes out. Y equals negative 4 divided by 2 is 2. X positive. And just plus 0, because 0 divided by 2. So I'm still writing that 0. I'll put this 2 over 1. So I know my y-intercept is 0, so it's going to cross the y-axis at 0. And my slope is also positive, and this slope here is m equals 2 over 1. Changing y is positive, changing x is positive, so it's going to be 2 up, 1 right, 2 up, 1 right, 2 up, 1 right, 2 up, 1 right. So I definitely messed up here. So let me put it in purple because that's the point of intersection between these two lines. 2 up, 1 right, 2 up, 1 right. I don't know what mistake I did, but it doesn't look the same. So let me do the blue. Now the blue line is this. The red line is this one. And this is the point of intersection right here. And I'm going to try to highlight it a little better. So before I highlight it, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 3 over 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be point of intersection is 3, 6. Well, let's see if that works. Let me go back to my first equation, and thankfully I still have it here. That's my second equation. So my first equation, let's replace. So my first, I'm going to rewrite it here. Is 4x minus 3y equals negative 6. If I replace the x with 3, so I get 4 times 3 minus 3 times 6 equals negative 6. 4 times 3 is 12. Minus 3 times 6 is 18 equals negative 6. Now I definitely negative 6 equals negative 6. So it works for the first equation. The second equation is 4x minus 2y equals 0. Let's see if that actually is true. X is 3, y is 6, so it's 4 times 3 minus 2 times 6 equals 0. Does that equal 0? 4 times 3 is 12, minus 2 times 6, which is also 12, equals 0, and 0 equals 0. So I was wrong in the first one, and this is right. The point intersection is actually 3 and 6. So that wasn't that difficult, but you definitely have to be careful, as we can make easy mistakes.